Poppy Works here, coming to you once again with One Piece, chapter 1126, entitled Taking Responsibility. So, we have issue, or rather, volume 14 of Yamato's cover story, in which she finds out that a local soba shop in Curry is reporting missing girls. And we see just how massive she is compared to this soba shop owner. The size of her gets me every time. It really does, because I keep forgetting that she's 8'8". It's so funny. But continuing on with our chapter, we have the Giants and the boys celebrating. We finally get an explanation as to why Brocky and Dory were with Shanks. It's because Oimon and Kashi, after the events of Water 7, actually went to Little Garden and retrieved Dory and Brocky. They convinced them to come back to Elbaf with them to get them weapons to finish their duel. Because at the time when Oimon and Kashi found them, they were just duking it out with fists. And it can't really be a fight to the death with just fists. And once this is explained, Nami asks, so you went back to Elbaf for weapons, so you're going to keep fighting? And Dory and Brocky, of course, say, of course! Restored. Faith in this long, cherished feud restored. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad, because I know Zach and I were so worried that just happened with no explanation. So I'm glad there's an explanation as to why they're off of Little Garden, and they will eventually go back. Nami is over it because she doesn't get manly bravado. Usopp chastises her, saying, "Didn't you learn anything in Elbaf?" Luffy chimes in, and then we get a little bit of lore building, because apparently they're all drinking some Elbaf liquor or abstain called the Green Fairy, and they are warned that it'll make you hallucinate. I'm not sure if that's coming into play in this chapter, because everything that they experience throughout seems to be real, but that could be a plot point later on. So yeah, party ensues, and Bonnie finally gets to watch the horizon with Kuma. I don't think Kuma's dead. I keep thinking that he's going to die. I keep thinking that, but no, he's not dead. He's just chilling out. That's cool. It's still uncertain what his fate would be, but it's nice to see that father and daughter are finally reunited. I like that. I like that a lot. So, flashing back to Gartel Island, which is the island in which Bart burned the flag of the red hair pirates like a while ago during a cover story. We see the consequences of that unfolding, which were alluded to at the end of the Wano saga ending. So, yeah, Bart has been caught by Red Hair and the boys. The Fed has caught our boy Bartolomeo. Bart is begging for forgiveness as Shanks looks on. Hongo gives him some poison and says, deliver this poison to Straw Hat Luffy because your boss should take responsibility for your actions. The bro Bartolomeo drinks it instead, saying that it's his responsibility and he will not bother Luffy with actions that he took upon himself to do. But it turns out that this wasn't poison at all. This was just a placebo in order to test Bart's loyalty. Based Bart, though. I love it. Based Bart. He continues to be the best in the Grand Fleet. I love you, Bart. You're the greatest. So they get to sail off on the Going Luffy Senpai, which is cursed. Unfortunately, even after Shanks is quite touched that there are people out there who care so much about Luffy, Yasopp chooses to stand on business, which is surprising because he doesn't stand up and be a father to his son, but he'll stand up for this. He shoots the Going Luffy Senpai and it explodes in one shot. What? Oh no, what kind of... That's crazy. Hockey really does affect projectiles that severely. That's insane. because the explosion is huge. We know they're not dead, but I hate they blew up. Oh, my boys. But they'll be fine. They're too valuable to die. They're too valuable. And yeah, the cursed ship, the Going Luffy Senpai, is in flames. A lot of ship busting lately. First, it was the Polar Tang. Then it was the Victoria Punk. Now the Going Luffy Senpai. You hate to see it. But maybe now they'll get a ship that's a parody of the Thousand Sunny. Maybe that will happen. Let's hope. But yeah. This really does cement too that Bart is not going anywhere if that was a concern. He's down for Luffy 100%. He is our lead member in the Grand Fleet. There's no way he'll ever leave the Grand Fleet. I don't believe it. So, cutting back to Hachinoso, the pirate island, we still see that Pizarro is beaten up because the island has been split, the skull of the island. It's so funny, it's covered in bandages. That's so stupid. And Teach is chewing Pizarro out for letting Koby get away. It is very funny because this is a projection of Pizarro using the Owl's fruit, but he can feel it because of the Owl's fruit's weakness. I find that so funny. Teach is so pissed. He's got pistol in the hand grabbing Pizarro by the mustache. It's so good, bro. I love it. I simply love it. Meanwhile, San Juan Wolf is doing his best to prepare the town, but he's knocking buildings over with his massive behind. That's great, bro. He's like, oh, where did this shop go? Oh my God. Oh, the Blackbeard Pirates are a treat, bruh. They're a treat. But despite them getting rocked by Sword, the infantry has not lost morale. They are very, very, very hyped. And, someone has a parrot. You see a parrot in this shot. That's cool. Oh, they really are the piratey pirates. That's sick. I didn't know people had parrots on the island. I like that a lot. But yeah, now we have the boys just chilling while Kuzan gives Blackbeard staff support, and we find that they have indeed captured Garp. Also, forgot to mention, Moria has gotten away. That's what Blackbeard's mad about. He let Moria escape. So, Perona and Moria for Cross Guild, it's coming true, boys. It's real. It's so real. Moria got out. Moria got out. That means Thriller Bark is out. Thriller Bark is on the high seas now. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited. Moria has escaped. Okay. So, yeah. Kuzan lets Teach know that Garp has been captured. Garp is seen chained up, looking like Ace, looking like Jinbei, is bringing back memories to Marineford and Impel Down. I don't know. That's a little interesting. That's a little interesting how we've come back to a very similar point. Maybe Luffy shouldn't stop and save him, because he's got Yonko duties to attend to, can't be bothered with some old man. I kid, but I wonder where this is going to go. And yeah, we also see that Blackbeard now has Pudding in his clutches. So that is also very interesting. And the funny part now is we see Lafitte, and apparently he's surveilling what's going on at Navy Amit Shipping HQ. Now, if you don't remember, Amit was an underworld boss, and his occupation was shipping magnate, the shipping king. And we saw him at the tea party. So that's kind of interesting. We just had a bunch of Stussy lore come up, and now we see what Amit's business is. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Lafitte is surveilling what's going on here. And apparently, once things are being shipped out to the Red Port, they blow up thanks to the revolutionaries tempering. So that's pretty interesting. As the sabotaged Bondolas who are trying to bring up food to Mary Joas keep blowing up. So yeah, the Celestial Dragon food supply is kind of botched, which is interesting. And Blackbeard is intending to move out because of that. He's going to act on their weakness, which is going to be kind of interesting. I wonder what's going to happen there. But as that's going on, Yvonne, Caribou, and Van Auger pull up, and this is the best scene. Avala Pizarro picks up their ship using the power of the Owls through with his hand. It's like he's holding a toy ship. It's so funny. So that's how they dock the boats. Avala Pizarro just picks up the boat. That's great. That's fantastic, bro. I love that a lot. That's great. This is a great panel. And Caribou is freaking out, as you should be, because who would expect that? Who would expect that? That's so funny. Oh no. That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. But as an aside, I do find it funny that both of the fanboys of Blackbeard and Luffy are in the same chapter together. That's pretty cool. And one is being accepted in, and another is facing the consequences of acting upon his boss's behalf. Very interesting, very cool. But to continue, going back to the giant ship, which has a name now. It's called the Great Eric. And it appears that the Thousand Sunny has gone missing, which is a bit of a problem. And everybody is kind of just recovering from their hangover, it seems. Funny little scene here. I love that Robin and Frankie are talking to one another. Robin, of course, doing her bit of being very morbid, saying maybe they were swallowed by a giant fish. And Frankie's like, oh no, that's possible because the fish around here are giant because they're near Elbaf. I love that we see Bonnie tugging on Jimbei. That's great. I love that. And apparently, like, I guess Lilith is just zoned out. I don't know why she's facing the ship's wall here. That's so odd. That's so weird to me. And we did see her eating earlier on in the chapter. So yeah, she is eating now. So that's something. I guess this is her first time drinking alcohol too, now that I think about it. Oh, so she's probably gassed. Wow. Because I imagine she's a lightweight. She has had no time to build up a tolerance because she's never consumed anything. That's crazy. Wow, the implications of that are scary. But yeah, the Straw Hat ship is missing. And then we see a black void. Nami wakes up in full Elbaf attire in a Lego playset house. It kind of looks like that other type of toy back in the day. It was a girl's toy, I forgot. But this is super interesting. You know what the first thought came to mind when I saw this? I thought, what if she is on Elbaf right now and she's in a Lego playset that belongs to a giant? Because to a normal person, a Lego playset for a giant would be massive. It would be the size of a regular sized house. You see what I'm saying? So that's interesting. Either that or it's the effect of a Delph-Rue. But I believe in the former rather than the latter, especially seeing as how someone has taken the time to dress her up, presumably as an Elbathian princess. So, yeah, the outfit's hot, by the way. Love it. She's got an Usopp armband, too, which is interesting. I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, but I love this fit already. It kind of reminds me, too, a little bit of how she was depicted in that one Food Wars comic for Sanji, where it depicts Sanji cooking on Kamabaka Queendom, and he imagines feeding Nami and Robin, and they're in like caveman gear. This reminds me of that. So that's pretty cool. And with that being said, that's the end of our chapter. No break next week, boys. We're going for it. We are going for it. I'm very excited. But yeah, no break next week. Give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Paula P. Woodson.